out of nowhere. My goodness.
No, it's not out of nowhere. I think that.
Oh boy.
You wanted this.
No, I'm just.
Don't say,
I'm
oh boy.
Asking.
I just think that, and this is going to sound really deep.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, and this is going to sound like a lot of ideas all at once, right?
A verbal stream of consciousness. We love it.
This is a verbal stream of consciousness.
Yes.
Or like a ethnic or like a non-black person says something, and then like back to like when a black girl says something, like Cardi B and I are very similar, and we've made a lot of the same vulgar jokes, a lot of the same, we've made a lot of the same ignorant political comments and stuff like that. But what I've noticed has happened is, if I misspeak, then all of a sudden my rap is invalid, but like if she misspeaks, it's kind of like chalked up to her being like, I guess like a dumb bitch or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's just, and they're just like, oh no, that's just New York, that's just the Bronx, that's this, that. And again, it's not to be like, oh, well, why does she this? Why does she have that? Why does this, da. It's really just more so about like how threatened these music industry folk are by actual people with actual talent. Like even if you look at like the whole Nicki Minaj and Remy Ma debacle, these are like the two like mainstream bandstand black female rappers we had, and you guys pit them against each other and egged it on and then brought Cardi B up afterwards. Come on, Negroes. Come on. And it's just like, I don't know, for that to have happened was kind of like stupid. I think if anything, like men in hip hop should have been coercing them to work together, because it looked bad. It looked really bad, like it just looked bad. And it kind of brought Nicki's value down. And even if it brought Remy's value up, it didn't bring her the right value. It brought Remy's value up in the chitlin circuit. Remy's so talented. Like, that was just like the easiest thing you could have fucking done, And whoever convinced you to do it was against you. I'm sorry, because now you're the girl who wrote Cheether. But I don't know you as that. Like, I know pre-jail, I know Remy Ma's music. I know her catalog. I know her as an artist. Even if you didn't collab with Nicki Minaj, I didn't want to see a fight. It just looks bad. It looks bad. And it looks bad on female rappers. It looks bad on black women. Charlemagne should be fucking ashamed of himself for egging it on. Like, everyone, Papoose, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself for letting Remy Ma do that, Like, she just got out of fucking prison and you're just gonna try and you're just gonna stick her right back in the fighting thing. Like, no, absolutely fucking not. Remy Ma didn't even need to be on Love and Hip Hop. Cardi B needs Love and Hip Hop. Remy Ma does not lead Love and Hip Hop. You get it? And it's almost as if there was a greater strategy to do this and then try and pop Cardi B up in there, Don't get me wrong, I'm very entertained by Cardi B. And I really like Bodak Yellow. That's a really good song. But you are not that girl. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to take anything from you, but you're just this female rap thing, it's like a lineage. It's a real fire that burns in a soul. You don't have that fire. I'm very happy for your success. And I love your come up. And I love seeing you smile and having a good time. But this woman's expression, this black woman's expression, and whatever, we're not gonna have a conversation about who's black, what's this, Afro-Latina, blah, blah, whatever. But just the fire of this black woman's expression, you don't have it, Cardi. And you won't get it. Because it's not you.
And the interesting thing about that is that that's what a lot of people were saying before she went number one. Everybody was like, BET Award, how does she get a nomination?
No, she okay, so this is the thing. Cardi B deserves BET. Cardi B, that's where she fits. You know what I mean? She fits there. She fits that BT. But we've seen this happen before. We see you guys, like, in spite of Nicki Minaj, plop some bitch up to #1 and then you run to the Grammys. Like, it's like you get what I mean? Like, we've seen this movie before. It was called Iggy Azalea. You get what I mean? Like, I've seen this movie before. I know exactly what you guys do. You buy a #1 and then you buy a Grammy, you know? But it's just like, it's all being paid for. And that's not at all, I'm not at all trying to, like, take anything away from you. Shit, like, I'd fucking love if somebody, like, paid for me to fucking get a #1. That's great. But I'm that girl. Nicki Minaj is that girl. Remy Ma is that girl. Cardi B is not that girl. Iggy Azalea is not that girl. Nicki Minaj for a very long time has had like complete market share of the female rap, and for a very long time these other music industry execs have been trying to push their female rap products through. Nicki Minaj was just not letting these other corporate white guys get a piece of her pie. So they made Cardi B and launched her. It's not a theory, it's the truth. They made her and launched her on Nicki, and that's just because of this greater white male, like, corporate part to the music industry that's just not gonna they're just not gonna let a black girl have any sort of, like, power. You know, Nicki had too much, like the power, the female rap power was too centralized in one spot. They had to launch something on her to break that up. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
that's what they did.
When I look at Black women's culture as, like, a whole thing, right? And then you think about the media and the power that the media has, like, how I think that it's very concerning to me that this conversation surrounding Black women's culture, like, changes from, I don't know, because I feel like maybe 2 years ago, the conversation surrounding Black women's culture was really reaching an all-time high, and we were really, like, discussing, you know, our power amongst ourselves, and, you know, Beyonce came out with Lemonade, and, like, there was just this really, really, really intelligent conversation going on nationally, and then everything just kind of changed, and then it was like, Cardi B, you know what I mean?
You don't think it grew, though? Because, I mean, for every Cardi B, you got a SZA, and you got a Issa Rae, and you got a Ava DuVernay, and you got Tiffany Haddish.
And when you say
right,
you're talking about her music and what she raps about? Or
No.
What
not,
she did?
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm just talking about, like, this caricature. You get what I mean? This caricature of a Black woman that Black women themselves would never be able to get away with, you know? Like, if my spelling and grammar was that bad, I'd be canceled. If Nicki Minaj smelled like that, we'd be ragging on her all fucking.
Smelled?
Spelled.
Oh, I was like, what?
If Nicki Minaj spelled like that, you'd just be ragging on her all day, you know?
I mean, Fab has been spelling wrong his whole career, and we like Fab.
Right, but we're talking about women.
Got you.
You know, so we've already established that there's a double standard there. When it comes to this female rap thing that we have, you know, I just don't understand how we go from, like, or just not female rap thing, this Black women's culture thing. I just don't understand how we go from Beyonce and Lemonade and Solange and all of these, like, great conversations, Black Lives Matter, all these conversations, to, like, this.
Well, Black women aren't monolithic, though, either, right?
I know we're not monolithic, but come on.
And you used to like Cardi B.
I used to.
I mean, they had a video of you in the club going crazy to Bodak Yellow.
I was really drunk that night.
What made you not like her? You know, because
because it's just, like, I don't know. I feel like you guys just use everything to, like, make this, like, bigger than what it is.
Somebody illiterate, untalented rat. That's crazy.
I'd let the record show I wasn't even going to bring it up, by the way.
No, I'm just asking.
I know you weren't going to bring it up.
No, I'm asking.
I just don't understand, like, the extreme lack of couth. You know, I've never seen that. I've never seen that at the forefront of female rap. And I didn't know that the standards, that the bar would be lowered so much. It was kind of like a culture shock. Like, the bar went from Beyonce, Lemonade, this very, very extremely intelligent conversation, to, like, I tell you about the robbery
the robbery, the swindlery, the fucking snakery, the fucking, yo, my gosh, the type of bullshit that goes on in this music industry is crazy. And, you know, a lot of times it has nothing to do with a person not being able to read. There are lots of I'm learning a lot of shit. There are so many other ways in which you can really just like fuck somebody over and fuck somebody out of their fucking money, you know? Like, wow. Not like any sort of victim statement. Like, no. I'm not playing the victim. I'm not like crying. I'm not whatever. Like, no, that's not what's happening here. It's really just kind of like the complexity, the complexity of all of this, and how your career could really be built on a forged document, documents that never even fucking existed, agreements you never even fucking made, and how the house of cards can really just come tumbling the fuck down. It's like, what do you do when you have all these people involved in a lie? Oh my motherfucking God. Oh my motherfucking God. You know, I was gonna skip out of Instagram because I felt like the shit is just getting too wild. I feel like people, you know, use Instagram to just like have fake outrage, and people are mad about shit every day. And just like, who can live their life being like upset about something different every week, like in your homes, talking about what happened online? Like, who gives a fuck, you know? It was really kind of just getting like a little obnoxious and a little like, ugh, you know, like bullshit, you know, especially when you pair it all with the poverty of the streaming era, you know, like, and all this extra work you have to do outside of just making good music to sell music. Like, you gotta do like dumb bunny hop dances on fucking TikTok, and you got bitches fucking getting their hair and nails done just to take free photos for Instagram. And, you know, a lot of these artists that look like they have a lot of money really don't, you know. Lots of artists are on layaway, you know. A lot of these houses that you think these artists own, a lot of these bags and purses and shoes and makeup and jets and all this other shit, a lot of that is being paid for by labels because it's a drop in the bucket compared to what they are making on the back end with data, like these algorithms and all this stuff. And DSPs market themselves as technology platforms, so they don't necessarily have to they don't necessarily have to disclose the nature of whatever fucking algorithms that exist that makes the artist end up with half a cent a fucking stream. You know, you gotta get 1 million streams to get $3,500. Like, wow, that is some hoe shit. When you talk about the poverty of the streaming era, that coupled with the need to, like, you know, just this loop of social media, and, you know, every fucking week there's some new like social prescription coming out of fucking Silicon Valley. Actually, you know what? Let me finish washing my hair and put my good wig on. Let me put my good wig on and put some makeup on and like really give you guys this master class.
A big part of the reason why I didn't want to vote for Hillary Clinton is because I felt like her movement was just shrouded in so much like white feminism, you know? Yes. Like, you know, like, we're just going to get this woman to the presidency and like completely ignore the fact that her and her husband are the reason that so many black families are divided now, like the 1994 crime bill. You get what I mean? That's why, you know, people going to jail for like a bag of weed and dumb shit like that. We're forgetting that this woman called us super predators, you know? She's blatantly like trying to peddle to us and talk about she's got hot sauce in her bag and all type of shit like that. She's like literally talking to us like we're idiots. I always say that I like my racist, you know?
Me too.
I don't like any of that covert shit. Like, the feminist conversation is always very white female centric. And I just felt like if Hillary Clinton won, that was just going to be like a win for white women and just like more losses for Black women, because that was just going to give them even more of an excuse not to deal with like the intersectionality and all of the other women that fall under that feminist banner, or like, you know, should be included in there. We were the last American citizens to get the right to vote. It's a bit about, you know, realizing that history can and will repeat itself.
One thing that society doesn't realize is that all of their aggressions are being micromanaged through these like news articles and like, you know, blogs and all kinds of things like that. So if they take me and make me the villain, so if I'm the villain of the entertainment industry, or one of the villains of the entertainment industry for the next 20 years, that's just a part of their micromanaging your aggressions. You know, everyone is just like, oh, I only hear about you when you're in drama. It's like, no, what's happening is either you're only looking for me because you like the drama, right? So you're addicted to negativity, or you know, the media is only posting the negative things about me so that you stay addicted to negativity. And you know, I've basically been used as a pawn in society's programming, in society, in the powers that be trying to program society, you know? So if there is like this kind of pyramid, right, where at the bottom there are brown and Black workers, even though we're not calling them slaves, they're pretty much still slaves, you know? Where they're like brown and Black workers, and then there's a middle class and whatever, and then there's an upper crust. You know, if that is the scheme, because it is the scheme, America has and always will be, America has and always will rest on a systematically oppressed underclass. You know, first it was the Negroes, and now that we won't work for free, it's the Latinos. You know, so in order to keep America going, there has to be somebody on the bottom. No doubts about it. And for a very, very long time, it didn't matter what a middle class white, you know, you could be like a mediocre middle class white person. It didn't matter so long as you knew that you were better than this like Black billionaire or Black millionaire, you know? So long as like the middle class American family in the 60s felt that they were better than somebody like Muhammad Ali just because they are white, you know, then it keeps that system. It keeps that systematic oppression going, you know? But little do you know, all of the people who are like really kind of like adhering to like the fanatic parts of that kind of ideology are poor as fuck. You know, they're poor and white. So it's like, if you can get the poorest white person to feel like he is somehow always better than the richest Black man, and you can keep that system going, that system of ideology going, you know, no matter how you twist the story, so long as you can keep that set, then you have success within, you know, the American structure or whatever. So yeah, my treatment is really just a microcosm of a macrocosm. It's programming. If we can keep these Black people disenfranchised for whatever reason, you know, if we can say this person has herpes, and we can say Azealia Banks is the type of Black woman who's mentally ill and society doesn't need her, and like even with like, you know, the Sky Jackson thing, you get what I mean? That was like purposefully done to like juxtapose the two of us against each other, you know? And then the very next day, Sky Jackson's like posting pictures of church and all kind of shit like that, you know what I mean? It's like, here's the Black woman that society that society says is good. And this is an example of a Black woman that society doesn't need. So they'll try and put this story like, don't end up like Azealia Banks. But, you know, and they try and like paint this narrative that's like so dire. But in all honesty, I just like performed a dope ass show. You know, I'm doing like so many dope things all the time.